Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 47 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and hello, who is with me tonight?
Stefan JD.
Stuart Hughes.
I'm Hunter again.
Welcome, everybody, or as in the way this week we're talking about, hello. So, well, Stuart's pick. Do you want to tell us the lovely game that you picked for us this week?
Sure. We're all coming off of... We're recording this right after Thanksgiving, by the way, so we all sound tired.
I'm still full.
Turkey. Everyone's just like, I just want to sleep. This week, we're playing a game that I picked that was it was one of my blind spots for a long time and never played any of them. Oddworld Abes Odyssey. The 1997 answer to the question, games are so political now.
Get up.
Yeah! This game is pretty damn political.
Yeah, I was surprised. I had never played it. I had only ever seen like the box art for it, which is weird because the box art was... I remember seeing the Windows box for it, and the Windows box was like a giant binder-sized square box. Like,
yeah, it's shaped kind of weird.
It's shaped kind of odd.
Hi.
And I remember like at some point being able to open it and look at the manual for this game, and the manual was again just a giant square manual that was like 8.5 by 8.5. It was very strange.
That is strange. That's very odd.
Play this game at some point. I know nothing about this game except that there's a fish guy in it, and that's it. Presumably Abe.
There's not really a fish guy in this one.
Fish.
We're talking about Munch.
Yeah, Munch's Odyssey.
That is not this game.
Abe is kind of a fish.
I was like, what game did you play?
Munch is really a fish. Munch is a one-legged fish.
What would you say Abe is?
A slave?
Slave to corporate America?
I would say more of a humanoid.
Abe,
a humanoid.
Yeah, he's humanoid, but he's more fish humanoid than regular humanoid.
The same question Hunter said. What game were you playing? Were you playing Abe's Odyssey for PS1?
I would argue that Abe looks far more fish-like than human-like.
I think you had a mod turned on or something.
Haven't you ever watched Hellboy or something? Hellboy? Abe and Hellboy? Like the same thing.
He doesn't even have fins. He has 3 fingers, right? I mean, that's what he sticks up at the moon, the one part?
That's so humanoid. Look at your hand, Mike. How many fingers do you have on your hand?
I have 5, but I could have 3 if I had accidents.
Regardless of 5 or 3, that doesn't make you a fish.
I'm more looking at the face. The face is fish-like.
I want to say, what kind of fish are you catching in over there in Virginia?
I'm the only one that lives near the water, all right? I think I know what a fish looks like. And
I live in Florida.
There's no fish in Florida. They all died.
I think he looks more tribal than anything.
Florida man killed them all.
He killed all the fish.
No, I mean, I don't know how you get a fish out of me. I understand if we played Munch's Odyssey.
He's got like a catfish face.
No.
He doesn't have whiskers.
Well, catfish also don't have like bodies and arms, but...
Wait a second. Did we all play the same game here?
We all played Abe's Odyssey, right?
Abe's Odyssey.
Yes.
Well, we did. I think you played Munch's Odyssey, but hey.
According to the wiki, Mudokons, which is what Abe is, they are chameleon-like in nature.
Mudokons, yeah.
Mudokan, Mongoloid, whatever the hell they're called.
So I'm saying chameleon more than fish.
I wouldn't even say chameleon, but I'll give them that over.
I would argue chameleons look more like fish than people. And I think Abe looks more like a chameleon or a fish than a person.
When you're using that comparison, sure, you are right. He looks more like a fish because chameleons look more like a fish than a humanoid.
He's got big old fish eyes. He looks like if Nemo was really, really sick when Marlin found him.
You'd have to have Nemo. He would have to have some little mohawk on and some arms and legs and not be swimming.
Lots of makeup.
But
oh my god.
I'm not saying that you people aren't seeing fish. He looks like such a fish to me.
I'm gonna ask this question when I.
Oh my god! You know what he looks like? He looks like the tribal dude from the end of Beetlejuice with the shrunken head.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, the fish.
Oh, here we go.
That odd fish. I remember
that odd fish. The fish.
I've never seen Beetlejuice. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Beetlejuice is great.
He kind of looks like
It's one of those.
He kind of looks like the Goombas from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
From the movie. Yeah.
I will give you that. I will give you that more than the fish.
Which, by the way, is a great movie.
So I'm realizing now that I thought that the little hair knot thing he has on top of his head, which, by the way, Stefan, tribals are just people. They aren't a separate species.
Well, I'm
Little
saying
tribal,
look,
yes.
his aesthetic is tribal.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like he's not a fish or human. He's a tribal.
Well, hey,
Damn
Stuart,
savages.
don't beat down on the tribal fish, all right?
Stefan is very colonialist. Sorry, everybody. But I'm realizing now that like his little top knot on top of his head is not a. I thought it was like a fin, but it's a chameleon tail just sticking out the top of his head.
What?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, it was hair.
Yeah,
No, it's
I thought it was
definitely
hair.
not hair. It's definitely not hair. It's like scaly.
Who?
Go look up a picture of Abe right now and tell me that he doesn't have a chameleon tail on top of his head. Granted, okay, so apologies
so
to the audience. We
confused.
all played like the 1990s. Well, at least I played the 1997 version of this game. So we're running off of graphics that are very, very, let's say, blurry.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, Stefan played the new and tasty version, right,
Oh, okay.
Stefan?
I played both of them.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
But for this week?
Yep.
Oh, wow. You played
Oh,
cheats
nice.
with these fucking games? God damn it.
I also even played some of Munch's Odyssey as well.
Damn. Yeah, I want to apologize to
Okay,
everyone
maybe.
for picking this game. I did not realize how absolutely difficult it would be.
Yeah.
It's hard.
This is a very
Well,
hard game.
As
Okay, I'm
journalists
looking at a
call
picture
it.
of Abe.
We aren't going to get
I
past
don't
this.
see a. I mean, maybe a tail. I don't see a tail. It looks like he's again tribal. It looks like he has little like feathers on his head.
Go.
But
He doesn't,
I don't know.
he doesn't whip it like a tail.
Well, it's not Shantae. Neither do chameleons. Chameleons don't whip their tails.
Yeah. Good.
I'm gonna hold on, everybody. I'm gonna open my browser. I'm gonna go to the fucking wiki and post this picture in the call. Everyone can see it. I don't care.
And
I don't care if this isn't in the recording.
It is
but no,
100% hair to the people that have seen Abe. It is hair. It is nothing else. There's no fish thing here. We're moving on. It's hair.
Hair tail.
You guys are all crazy.
Hold on.
There will be spoilers for Abe's Odyssey. And I don't think anything else till you've been warned. When we ever get there at some point, when we're done talking about the fish.
Oh my gosh.
I will
Spoiler
concede
is
he
he
does.
has a wig.
I will concede he looks more chameleon-like than fish-like,
Okay.
but he definitely has a chameleon tail on his head.
I can't agree with that.
It's just hair.
How the fuck do I?
I'm going to
What
ask
is
this question later.
Look at this goddamn picture. I'm sending this to everybody. Look at this picture. That's a chameleon tail.
That is not. Okay, I'm done.
That is
All
not
right.
hair. You
So,
think that's one giant strand of hair?
No, it's like
I think it's many hairs.
like
I think he got a haircut.
it's like a ponytail.
It's solid. It's one giant piece.
It's a
I mean,
really
my hair could
really
be
tight.
solid too. I mean, I've
Really
seen
tight.
people with dreadlocks. It's
When you
solid.
get your haircut, Mike, do you go and get one haircut, one piece of hair, your entire head? It's just
I'm tempted
one
now
strand.
just because, so I can say I did it. But
That's a chameleon tail.
He's like, give me the Abe. Give me the Abe special.
There is no way in that picture I sent you that is hair. That is a tail.
So anyway,
yeah,
So
so
the game
saying
part.
about how tough this game was.
I was thinking he looks like a human.
Journalists would call it the '90s Dark Souls.
Yeah. The Dark Souls of
Okay,
Mario.
I would call it. Well, it is hard. Like I mean, I played it with save states, of course, because I would have never.
No, it's stupid hard. It was very frustrating.
Soylent Green is a
I mean,
tail.
there were a lot of parts. There was one part where I was almost about ready to throw my controller through the wall. We'll talk about that later. But
What the
this-
fuck is that
like
thing?
I have never. That's the fish.
You think that looks like a fish? Well, I guess it kind
It
of
is
looks.
fish.
What
Has a
was that
nose.
Don't know what we're
fish
talking
that
about.
you guys have
Just-
swimming around?
Posted a picture of Munch from Munch's Odyssey, which came out 3 years after this game. I think 3 years, something like came out in the future after this game, and that's what he is arguing about with me.
It looks more like a fish than Abe. No, that thing looks. If anything, I would say that's an alligator.
Neither looks like a fish. That's the problem.
One is a chameleon and the other is an alligator. It has a nose. It has a nose and it has like the alligator mouth.
chameleon with a
One
head
day-
tail.
One day we're going to find out that someone took a dictionary in front of Stuart and just changed all the animal names to different animals. So he's like, "That's a human." No, that's chameleon, not a human. You know, they have them all backwards.
Dude,
All right, enough of this.
Stuart has just eaten too much turkey, is what's going on.
Mike's gonna wake up next week and he's gonna be like green and covered in scales and he's like, "Yep, looks human to me." All good here.
So as we were saying earlier, this game is really fucking hard. Like,
Yeah.
there there are a lot of parts where it's very you have to be precise. Like they only give you enough time to run and make jumps in a lot of different parts. And I did not like that.
Yeah, I thought this was just gonna be like a puzzle-solving platformer, and there's like a shitload of combat, and they throw a ton of abilities at you.
Yeah, there's like no time to breathe. It's just constant.
And the second you like get a handle on your abilities, finally, it's like, all right, time to switch it up.
Yeah,
I didn't realize you could go hello until way too late in the game.
Oh, really? So you weren't rescuing any of the other Madokans?
Sounds like you didn't get the good ending.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later, but no. Spoiler alert, I did not.
So, for our audience, let's try to explain the story of this.
Mhm.
It's if Dr. Seuss had a baby with Edgar Allan Poe, and then that baby wrote Soylent Green, that's what Abe's Odyssey is.
It's just if McDonald's was like, well, we're out of cows, let's just start cooking the employees.
Right.
Yeah, almost exactly.
That's
He
really
plays Abe. I don't know his last name.
He's just a Mudakin.
I think his name is Abe Odd.
Abe Odd. Abe Odd E.C. He's got a long name, and he's a Mudakin, which I kept saying Madukin every time. Madukin. He's a Madukin, and he is the employee of the month at Rupture Farms, which is like the primary meat packaging company in the entire world.
Yep.
/ the only one. And he's like, I'm the employee of the month. Well, I would be if I wasn't a slave. I'm like, okay, so we're doing this. We're
He
jumping
doesn't
right
even
into
know
it.
he's a slave. Like they don't like at least he doesn't realize that they're slaves. You think, oh, we're just going to work. Well, we work 20 hours a day. Hey, it's normal.
I think they know. Well, no, it's hard to tell how.
In the early cutscene, he says, I'm employee of the month. Well, I was technically a slave. He doesn't he just realizes it when they're going to kill him.
Yeah, they figure it out later.
Yeah,
That they're being oppressed is what it is.
Abe is he's a hapless Madukin, and he's just walking down the hallway one day, randomly washing the floors, and he overhears all the higher ups of the company. What's great is the opening starts off, and he's going by all the posters. Let's say this real quick. He's going by all the posters, and all the cutscenes in this game, they're all set up in ABAB rhyming structure, except sometimes they aren't, which just really threw me off. But most parts, they're ABAB rhyming structure. He's talking about how, like, what were they? They were scrab cakes and
paramite pies,
scrab cakes, and there was one more.
Like
Meech munchies.
Meech munchies.
Yeah.
And he's talking about how they used to do the best like scrab cakes in the business, or they used to make the best Meech munchies in the business, and then they ran out of Meech. They went extinct, so they had to stop making them. But they still make paramite pies and scrab cakes. And he's walking by and he hears the higher ups go, wow, we need a new product. We don't have enough meat anymore. All the meat we're making is going extinct. Someone's like, I know. Well, they all talk like Banjo-Kazooie characters, but the general consensus is, I know. We'll just cook up Mudokans instead.
Yep.
Is it Mudokan bars they're going to make or something, right?
Popsicles.
Pops.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's just not what the popsicle made out of a fish. It's not, sounds good to me. You know?
He doesn't look like he'd make a tasty popsicle.
Well,
Chameleon popsicle.
Considering
that's what you. Okay, I'm going to stop with that joke I was about to make. But
The higher ups don't look like fish either.
the higher ups are just a head in a trench coat.
Yes, a head with legs.
Yeah, a head
You
with
don't know
giant
that.
legs and
Right.
giant arms, and their legs are really tiny. I think, right?
Yeah.
But like I mean, the other products don't sound that appetizing either. Paramite. I looked up what a paramite was, and it was just like I was trying to figure out what the biology of it was, and it just looks like the alien from The Thing.
It looks like a bug.
It kind of does lay out. It looks like it'd be crunchy, and I don't know if I'd want exoskeleton in a pie.
I mean, like when you see the paramites, that's when the meat that you see it look like giant rib cages that they're cutting up early in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And the scrabs are like exoskeletons.
Scrabs are demons.
Yeah, hell demons that maybe are like some scorpion or something in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
None of these things look like they would make a tasty item.
Not remotely.
Well, I mean, consider the fact that they're being eaten by fish, alligator, chameleon monsters. Then,
But I mean, have you seen the world that this game takes place in anyway? I mean,
this is true.
I feel like
Yes.
food is the least of their concerns.
So after overhearing his plans, Abe has to escape and save all of his fellow slaves, which there's only 100 of them, including Abe. He's got to save them all and get out and learn all these chants and destroy the big bad, the big boss dude.
And before we move on, I also just wanted to jump in with a fun fact that the Mudokan Pops actually had a severed Mudokan head on a stick originally. but they couldn't. They switched it up because an incident in Japan where someone was murdered at a school and their head was placed on a post in front of the school.
What the
They
fuck,
went,
Japan?
well,
I know what you're talking about too. That's
Yeah,
a real thing.
Jesus.
I've heard
Yeah,
the same story.
Sometimes I'll watch like anime and I'm like, Jesus, Japan is obsessed with like weird serial killers. And then I'll hear stories out of Japan. And I'm like, Jesus, Japan is just fucked up.
I mean, look at our country.
Yeah, but we don't have like Yakuza going around and serial killer. Like, didn't they just catch a serial killer in Japan like 3 years ago? Maybe not even that long ago. They caught like a nurse who had killed potentially like 200 to 300 people.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
She was like poisoning patients for years.
It sounds like a Dexter episode, by the way.
Dexter's Lab or Dexter?
Dexter.
Okay.
I thought Dexter's Lab too at first. I was
Remember
like,
that
what
Dexter's Lab episode where Dee
What
murdered
episode did you
200
watch?
patients? They gave Dee Dee a job at the school office and she murdered the entire student body.
That sounds like a real episode.
He almost does, actually. If she did it by accident, it'd be a real episode.
Shit.
Yes.
What are you doing with my potassium? She's just like pouring it down on patient's mouth.
All right. I do like that scene where it shows all the boards and all the profits are down and they're talking all stupid. I do really like that. And then it's all the idea. Like this whole game is all kind of a joke on real life and capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a
got
real
that
life.
like GTA satire to it where it's so over the top, but also like still kind of biting and funny.
Like it's calling us the Mudokans because we all look like fish. So
Yeah.
it's saying that like we're slaves to the and to the factories or wherever we work is kind of the idea with this game. I felt like the game was saying. I mean, it's changed,
Oh, no.
but I know that was kind of the behind it.
The entire message of the game is essentially wake up, sheeple.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this game was not subtle.
Not at all.
No, it was
Uh-uh.
definitely like right out the gate. It was industrialization is bad. Let's not eat all the fucking cows.
The way I always equated the humor in this is kind of like itchy and scratchy. Like it's just over the
Yeah.
top. It's meant to be funny.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
Sad,
It is
scary.
It's more
I,
dark than anything.
I laughed I laughed quite a few points in this game. There were quite a few. I like dark humor. So
Yeah.
I was
humor,
busy
so.
crying into this game as it was killing me. So
Yeah.
well, I don't
Every
like
now-
platformers, and I don't like really challenging games. And ta-da! We put them
Well,
together for
hey.
you.
And so we played the most challenging platformer.
Yeah, because this is really I think a cinematic platformer. I think is kind of what it's called. They're a
I can
puzzle
see that.
platformer.
It
Yeah,
is-
that's cinematic.
Oh yeah, the genre is cinematic platform. One of my issues with Abe is that when you stop running, he slides a lot, and it took me way too long to realize you can run and jump up a ledge. It took me
Mhm.
way too long to figure that one out. And it's just in general, anytime you have to stop, like hit a switch, there's a little bit of issue.
Yeah, Abe's a very fragile chameleon. I mean, you can even die from running into a wall too hard.
Yeah.
You
He
can
jumps just like a fish.
Just
If
like a
you
chameleon.
don't fall too high, you will die for sure. And the height isn't even that high. Like he can't drop too far.
Yeah.
This game, it reminded me so much of like Limbo and Inside. And those are like the only other, like I was trying to think of other cinematic platformers, and I got like, what's that zombie game?
Deadlight.
Deadlight? Yeah, Deadlight.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of other games kind of like this, and those are like the only three I could really think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we should point out that this is a side-scrolling game. It's not a 3D platformer per se.
No.
No, yeah, it's a side scroller, but I mean, it plays with the camera a lot. I was really surprised. Like that opening level is you like they catch you, like they catch you spying on them. You're just overhearing the conversation. They're like, "Well, we got to kill him," and you just immediately take off. And the whole first third of the game is getting out of the factory, pretty much.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
I didn't mind that part so much.
No, I
And
love that.
I also like that you have the overseers, which are called sligs, which I don't know what the hell they look like.
Get him.
Yeah, and they have little machine guns.
I like that you can say hello to them, and they're like, you're like, hello, and they're like, hello, hello,
Hello.
Yeah,
Oh,
they've
and then
got,
you-
they've got
and then they-
shotguns and robotic legs and cuttlefish mouths.
Back with the fish.
Yeah.
They look like what I imagined the Reapers would look like in the first Mass Effect if they didn't try. It's just
Okay.
like the cuttlefish faces and robotic legs and shotguns.
Well, from what I read, apparently that their visors on their masks, their eyes are actually further back than that, and the visors are supposed to help them see forward.
They
Oh,
don't see too well because
Okay.
you can run in front of them as long as you're fast and you catch them off guard and they won't shoot you.
They're like, what's his name from Operation Raccoon City?
dumbass.
Respect.
Yeah.
Dumbass is not his name.
His name is Dumbass. God, what was that asshole's name?
I think it's
Dumbass.
Spectre?
Is it
Spectre.
4 Eyes?
It was something. It might be Four Eyes. It was something ironic, given that he can't see.
Hot Coldman.
Yeah, it was Hot Coldman. But you know,
By the way, paramites look really fucking creepy.
it was Spectre. Vladimir Bodrovsky's Spectre. Stupid eye fucking goggle things that point in two different directions.
They
I fucking
are
hate
tough.
that guy.
Like I didn't have a problem so much with the God. What the hell is their name? I just forgot. They're also their name just left me. Machine gun guys.
The Sligs?
I just said it, and all of a sudden I'm like, what?
Well, there's
the
the Sligs and the Slogs.
The slogs are like the evil dog looking things.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I almost felt a little bit bad when you would possess the slig because you can chant as long as there isn't a item in the game that prevents you from chanting, which they have all over the place, called chant protectors or chant something. I forgot their
Like
name.
little machines that fly around. Yeah.
Zap you, and then you can't chant. But you can possess sligs, and they go, oh no, they go, as you're possessing them. And I always felt bad when you say, get over, or come here, boy, and you call one of the slogs to follow you, and then you just shoot them in the back.
Yeah.
I always felt so bad, but I did it every time.
I
These
imagine
slogs-
the Slogs as the second evolution of the Graboids from Tremors. So
Yeah.
I was happy to gun them down.
Yeah, that
they
makes
look
sense.
like an eyeless dog with a giant mouth at the size of its head.
They're the Tremors. They're the oh god, what are the Shriekers? That's what they're called. They're Shriekers from Tremors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tremors too.
Tremors 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
I'm gonna have to watch Tremors 2 now.
But I did not like it.
Aftershocks. You can't forget Aftershocks.
That
I mean, one
classic
thing
movie.
that's cool that you could do with the slogs when you possess a slig. God, it sounds so stupid.
We're gonna
You could,
be
like,
it's gonna be so confusing.
I know it's already confusing me, and I played this game this week. And you can send them down tunnels to eat the slicks, to eat the other enemies. Let's just say that.
Yeah. We'll call them dogs, cuttlefish, and what are the other ones? The
Paramites?
Gluckins, the big bads, the Gluckins.
And they're not really in this game that.
No, they're like the overseers.
Yeah, because they're the ones they're like the corporate CEOs of the company, and there's a bunch of them in the board. I mean, essentially, boardroom.
Mhm.
I called them Shriekers, cuttlefish, probe droids, and what's the other? There's like a mine thing that like flows around too, which was just
Those things. I mean, there are parts in this game where you have to time it just right when there's this rotating mine that will move around the screen that you're on, and usually it just goes in a certain pattern, but in certain levels it just goes after you.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh god, this game.
Yeah, we should explain that every single frame in this game is basically a puzzle, is what it
Oh
is.
god, yeah.
Or multiple frames. Like they'll be like you'll have multiple rooms where you have to do certain things before you can move on to the next checkpoint, and it's all like one puzzle. Like, okay, you have to draw the guy into this room, possess the guy here, run him back over, shoot this guy, run over here, shoot that guy.
Right, all in one fell swoop too.
Yeah, well, for me it wasn't one fell swoop usually, but yes.
Oh, Mr.
Never.
I would have never got through this game without that face. Oh, but also, like, as you're escaping the factory, you're supposed to rescue the fellow Mudukans, and I would see them, but I didn't know. You go, hello, so I would just run by, like, come on, why aren't you following me? And I'm like, oh well, I guess I just don't care. I just worry about it later.
And by I'm like, sucker.
Hello.
Later, loser. I'm escaping.
Because that plays a part in the ending. But so as you play through this game, you'll see fellow Mudokans who are scrubbing the ground and stuff, and you have to rescue them. And to rescue them, you have to walk up, you hold down L2 and triangle, what the game does not tell you, and he'll go, hello, and they'll go, hello, and then you have to follow it up with, follow me, and then you'll bring them to a portal, and then you jump to the portal.
Full of birds, by the way.
Yeah, but for the longest time, I didn't know that. I didn't know what to do with them, so I just left them.
You just left them to die.
And when I got back to the factory in the end of the game, it's like casualties 30. I'm like, how did these 30 Madokans die? Because I didn't rescue them in the beginning.
I love the factory setting of this game. I love the industrial background. Again, it
The
reminds me
aesthetic.
of Limbo. It's like
It's
the
a
exact
hell.
same Limbo aesthetic.
The
but
hell
with
factory.
color.
All factories hell.
Yeah, just look at Silent Hill. Factories are hell.
I'm good.
You sure?
What?
Like, can I just cut each other off 5 times in a row?
That's what we do with this.
But like, yeah, as you're going through the game, oh god, it's like when I say the game is cinematic, it's so like beautifully framed. So many frames of the game, or so many like areas of the game have like giant signs in the background that are just like blatant propaganda.
Mhm.
There's one that's like, if you survive all the other, like one escaped Madokin means 29 killed Madokin, essentially.
Yeah.
And then this is like, if you escape, all of your friends on this level will be killed.
I mean, that's what happens in North Korea.
Does North Korea have the big like pizza hologram signs in the background where it says,
I mean, that's just kind of what they're
workers
also-
escapes casualties?
I doubt it, but that's what it made me think of, is that it's the whole idea that if they escape, like you said, they're just going to kill everyone else, and they're going to pay the price for you escaping.
Mm.
And it does remind me of, again, it was probably a shot at different dictatorships in real life.
Right.
And that's kind of the only like hint that the game gives you that you should be doing that. The game doesn't come out and say like, at no point does anyone come out and say, hey, save these other Madokans. It's just stuff in the background that's like,
yeah, there's a room, like there's room with spray paint on the walls to save us and things.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
very little about the actual gameplay is given to you directly, aside from some very basic controls with those pizza signs that are just like the factory signs that say, hey, like press A to jump, idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I
Right.
said, I didn't know you could talk to people. Like, I did not find out till after, when you come back to the factory. That's when I realized you could talk to people and rescue them.
I love so much. I love going up to them and being, hello. Follow me. Okay.
Oh, and if you walk them into a trap like I did one time, I'm pretty sure he either said, uh-oh, or oh well, or something like, oh no. I
Yeah,
kept
just
walking.
accept their fate. Well, this is happening.
I was trying to rescue one every time I said, follow me, and he jumped into the meat grinder, and I couldn't figure out how to get him. So I'm like, fuck it, he can just die.
Yeah, let's not forget to point out the fact that as Abe, you can be a masochist and kill your fellow Mudokans.
I shot him.
Follow
before,
me
too.
to your death.
Throw them in
There's
electrocute
one
them.
part where I had to possess a slig, and you have, it's not a shotgun, I swear that's a machine gun. You can just hold it down. Oh, what are they?
It's a
There's auto
shotgun.
shot.
Two different ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there are?
There's a shotgun and a machine gun.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking later on in the game then with the machine gun.
Because there's a part where you possess a slig and you have to kill all the fucking slogs on the planet. They just keep coming.
Yeah, they can run out of the kennels, like 20 or 30 of them. It's terrible.
Yeah.
More than that. It's like it's like 4 at a time, and I think there's like 8 waves. It's ridiculous.
And you can't hold down the trigger, because you hold down the trigger when you're one of these sligs, they step back and they'll step off screen, and then you're done. Because I like, okay, I'll just shoot. They doesn't shoot the enemy. He just jumped out of the screen and killed me. And it was just like, okay, that's nice.
There's a part where it's just like bang, 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 bang. For like a good 5 minutes, you were just firing a shotgun nonstop.
I would say 5 minutes, but it's longer than it should be.
It's a long time.
And
entirely too long.
It's a ridiculously. It's long enough to get to a point where you're like, oh boy, this is going on for a while, and it kind of comes back around, and you're like, oh, this is fun, and then it goes back to being a drag. It has enough time to hit you in waves of Jesus Christ, will this fucking end?
They do it a lot. Like they do repeat the same puzzles, but they add to it. They change them up, and they keep them fresh, even though it does, some things do get boring. But you aren't being smacked with the same exact thing over and over again.
Right.
They keep challenging you with new ways. Like, hey, we give you grenades now. Figure out how to use these 3 grenades we're going to give you to escape this level.
The game never lets you feel comfortable.
No.
You don't relax.
At no point will you feel like you're in control.
No,
You're never in control.
never.
You get one time where you kind of feel powered up, but it's like, it's a puzzle part. You get powered up to do a puzzle, and then you go on, and you're not powered up.
The only time you're in control is the main menu where you can go through the game sounds and push the fart button.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know you could fart till way later in this game, because you hold down L2 and press circle, you
Like
go.
the best thing.
You just
You
start
have to
farting.
fart. There's a puzzle that there's a
Multiple.
huge section of the game where you have to do like a music puzzle, and Siri, shut the fuck up. You have to stop searching web for fart puzzle.
Searching web for fart.
There's a huge section of the game where you have to do a music puzzle, and the key to like letting the other chameleon fish know that you finished the puzzle is by farting.
Well, you go, hello, password. And then you
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. That I will admit got old to me after a bit.
got old real fast.
Yeah, after the first one, I was like, oh, okay, that's funny. Like one fart joke, I find funny, but the whole fucking like test section where you get rescued by Big Face. That's his name. That's not a dumb nickname I made up. I think his name is just Big Face.
It is Big Face. I'm pretty sure you're right.
Because he wears a mask, and so therefore that's his face, or that might actually be his face. I have no idea. But
He wears a mask.
yeah, you get rescued by Big Face, and he's like, "Oh, you have to pass the test of the Madokans." And so you go into a fucking temple, which is just filled with Madokans and I guess Sligs that are there to like capture the rest of the Madokans so that they can start chopping them up with food.
Yeah.
Well, I thought there's also Paramite, because you have the Paramite nest and the Scarab nest. Or
Yeah.
Scrab.
There's Scrabs, Paramites, and Sligs and Slogs, and they throw everything at you.
Sligs and flogs.
But all the fucking Madokans in there have a music puzzle, like password system. But the password is just they sing a song, and then you have to sing it back, and then you fart, and then you get going. And every single time, at the end of every single one, you fart, and they go, okay.
You know, in the sequel, Abe's Exodus, that is 5 times worse. You have to memorize at least like 20 different things of dialogue.
So you're telling me we're never playing Abe's Exodus on this podcast? All right,
it's going on the list. It's already on.
It's actually next week's episode. Surprise!
I don't think so.
There's a lot more of these games than I thought there were. There's 7 of them
for the series. No, not. There's Abe's Odyssey, Abe's Exodus, Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath, which came after Oddworld.
Oddworld Adventures and Oddworld Adventures 2, but those are just like ports, right?
They're remakes for handheld. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a new one that's about to, or is in development.
I saw that.
Soul Train or something.
Soulstorm. Stranger's Wrath is the one that I played before that I will definitely be on the show at some point.
It's such a weird, like, I don't understand. So the company that makes these is Oddworld Inhabitants by like the head designer is Lauren Lanning, who everybody fucking loves. Apparently, every review I saw was Lauren Lanning is a god. Everyone loved Lauren Lanning.
Yeah, but he hasn't really done a lot.
And I kept laughing because I was like, this company has made like 3 games essentially and just survived off of re-releasing them and remastering them for years.
Yeah. Yep.
Like there's Odyssey, Exodus, and Munch's Odyssey. And then Oddworld and Oddworld Adventures 2, which are remakes of Odyssey and Exodus. And then Stranger's Wrath, which is a different game.
It's a first-person shooter.
It's a bounty hunting game.
It's really good.
5 years after that, Stranger's Wrath HD edition. And then after that, Munch's Odyssey HD edition. And then New and Tasty, which was essentially a remake from the ground up of Abe's Odyssey. And then Soulstorm, which is a retelling of Abe's Exodus.
Yep. New and Tasty, by the way, everyone gave it shit when it came out. And I didn't understand why, because I thought it looked amazing. But the more you play it, the more you realize that they fucked up all the art style in it. So everything looks clean and very nice.
That's not the point.
Yeah, the whole point is that it's like disgusting industrial wasteland.
Exactly. They totally botched it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I didn't play the remake. I played the PS1 version.
I didn't either.
Don't play it.
Well, they were like, we're remaking Jack 2, and it takes place in like a clean, like it takes place in like Tokyo. It's like a clean cityscape. This place looks great. What's everyone angry about?
As we were saying earlier, one thing, like we had mentioned briefly, I mentioned you do get grenades in this game. You get rocks and you get grenades, and their only purpose is to solve certain puzzles. Like a rock is to distract someone, usually, wasn't it?
Yeah. But you also get food, too?
You get meat. Yeah, you get meat for the Paramites. Fucking Paramites.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I'd like to point out that even the grenades, like you use the grenades to kill enemies, but even that is more of a like it feels like a puzzle. It doesn't feel like combat.
You have to hold it down, count until it blows up, and the way you find out how many clicks it takes is blow yourself up, and then throw it to either blow up a guy, but even then it's terrible. Like it's not a very accurate.
It's not the easiest mechanic.
It's not very.
Nothing's easy in this game.
Nothing's.
Dying is.
Okay,
I'll point out, I was pretty annoyed with myself because I rescued all the Madokans in this game,
I was pretty annoyed with you too.
and at the end, I realized that you don't have to rescue all the Madokans to get the good ending. You only need to save 50.
Yep. That's how I got the good ending.
I was like, motherfucker. I put so much goddamn time into saving those goddamn fish people.
If only you had the internet to look these things up.
I just assumed I had to save all of them.
I mean, you
assumed I
should.
didn't have
In my head, I was like, this is a game from 1997. The good ending state is save everybody, and the bad ending state is like, even if you miss one, you're fucked. That was my assumption of a game from 97, not realizing that this game is like way better than most 1997 games.
I think you might
how
have
many
to
do you have
that
to save?
Exodus, actually. You might have to save everyone to get the good ending.
Jesus.
And it's twice as hard. And it's
yeah.
2 discs.
Let's never do that. It's 2 discs?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Let's go.
None of this sounds fun. All right, I do have a question for you guys. When after you escape the hell factory, and you're running around, you see Madokans with like little bandanas across their face, across their mouth, and they have slingshots. Are you supposed to talk to them to get past them?
Yeah.
Okay, I rolled and jumped, and every so often I get lucky and they wouldn't shoot me because I couldn't figure out how to get past them. So I would just save and load, and if you do it right, they just won't shoot you for some reason.
Well, Madokans can't fire straight when you fart, Mike. They laugh.
Is that what you're supposed to do to get past
gas? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just rolled and jumped, and then every so often I get lucky enough, and they wouldn't shoot, and I just move on.
He's the fart.
There are multiple, like a good 20% of the puzzles in this game seem to be solved by farting.
Good old 90s humor.
Fart. God, yeah. It's like, that should happen in fucking Banjo-Kazooie, too. And I gave Banjo-Kazooie so much shit because the humor just wasn't for me.
When do you fart in Banjo-Kazooie?
You don't.
There's a lot of fart noises in Banjo-Kazooie.
Well, I mean, you Captain Blubber.
It's just nothing but fart noises.
I disagree. But I haven't played it in a long time. Like
I just love that game.
Podcast.
I know, but it's been a while.
It was like a year ago.
Almost.
I still remember the farts. They haunt me in my sleep. Yeah, I love so much of the humor in this game, but then just the farts are like, I think you just have to be a fart person. Like some people really enjoy farts. I don't really. I like one fart I will laugh at, but after 20 farts, I'm like, all right, this is getting old.
Yeah, same.
It's very 90s humor.
Yeah.
If you're the kind of person that would go into somebody else's house and fart and laugh, then this game is like perfect for you.
That's the review on the back of the box.
Yeah.
It's
It's a review by Dan Reichert.
This game's for you.
You
enjoy farting at random people's houses. Do you enjoy when they look at you with disgust? Then I had the game for you. Yeah.
I meant to look up to see who at Game Informer did review this game because it got a 9.25 and it got like 8s and 9s across the board, except for IGN, which gave it a 7.5.
Fuck you, IGN.
Everybody else was like, yeah, this game's a solid 8 or 9. IGN was like, nah, it's a 7.
No, thank you.
Yeah, but IGN also said Dead Space 3 was the game of the generation, so maybe don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever told that story on the podcast, but a long time ago when I was in school for game design, one of my teachers would just like pull up various like magazine news sites and put them on the board, and just he wanted us to like talk about them at the beginning of the class. It was really cool. Be like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And he pulled up an article from IGN that said Dead Space 3, the game of the generation. And the whole class, it was like a 2-hour class, and the whole class was him shitting all over IGN for this one article. It's like, oh, the game of the shit. Fuck everything else. Dead Space 3 came out. I guess everything else just sucks because Dead Space
everything
3
else is irrelevant.
It's the game of the. Why we shouldn't even try anymore because Dead Space 3 is there. It was.
Why do you have to fuck them like that? I know. Okay, you got the joke. Good.
Dead Space 3 did suck though.
It was just so he was actually like a developer who worked on like Age of Empires and a couple other games. It's just
he's just mad he didn't get to work on Dead Space 3. That's what it was.
I will never forget him yelling about IGN's Dead Space 3 review for the rest of my life. He's not so
it's not a game of generation, that's for sure. Maybe Dead Space 2, but not Dead Space 3. All right, why are we talking about Dead Space?
Well,
okay.
Well, here I actually had a fun fact. So basically this whole game we've kind of covered it actually, but basically
things to say.
Yeah, Abe escapes from the plant, and when he escapes, he runs into the moon. And on the moon, he sees something that looks like his hand. So he puts it up, and he realizes it's the same. It fits right in with the moon. And in Japan, they actually found it as an insult to put 4 fingers on the Abe's hand because of the meatpacking subclass, which is basically what this game is about.
Oh.
So they only put 3.
They found it offensive that, I guess. But
It might have been because four in Japan's an unlucky number.
Yeah.
Or they cut off their finger.
It's the same word as death.
Yeah. Or like a bunch of Yakuza bosses came and talked to them, and they were like, "Hey, that's our thing, having 4 fingers."
Oh yeah.
I have no idea what you guys are.
But
in Japan, if you're in the Yakuza and you piss off a mob boss, you have to cut off your finger as a tribute, as an apology.
Sounds about right.
Oh, as he was saying though, like after you do meat, that you
No thoughts on that,
meat,
Mike?
I'm just gonna keep going. But you don't actually go to the moon. He sees the moon and he looks up and goes, "Oh," and it lines up.
he's kind of a klutz.
He's kind of an idiot, but hey,
Exactly.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's like what is it? Wile E. Coyote klutz.
Yeah, that's
I'd
fair.
say he's smarter than
fish are pretty klutzy on land, right?
Yeah, he's doing his best for a fish man.
Yeah. All right.
Fish
He's no Abe Sapien, but he's doing what he can.
The part that really pissed me off. Okay, so after you're kind of like you're in the Mudakan area and you have to, like we were saying, pass this Mudakan test, and you go to these 2 temples, and for some reason I decide. So you have the paramites that we talked about a little earlier, and the scarabs, whatever the fuck they are, and they have their nest, and I went to the scrab one first, not just like, I'll just do this one first, and that's the harder one. Oh my god, I was ready to fucking break the controller at one part. Because you have to, I mean, I was doing all right in this game, and the problem is there's one part where you have the scrab, you think of like a bull, we're going to call it a bull, and he's running back and forth under this platform, and you have to time it like a stealth game. You have to wait until he goes all the way to the other edge, drop down, run over, grab the switch, and then run and jump back up. Well, I didn't know you could run and jump. I thought you had to run, stop, and then jump. There's not enough time to do that. I tried like 30, 40 times. And before I went, what the hell? I watched the video. He runs and jumps. I'm like, motherfucking game. And then I ran it, did it first try, and I'm like, fucking shit. I almost did it without running and jumping. I almost had it, but I just couldn't get it. Because there's not enough time.
You have to run and jump before then, though?
I think you have to run and jump in the early mission, don't you?
Supposed to, but you can do the game without running and jumping before that. It's much harder. I handicap myself, but you can.
It's like a new thing that Mike's made for the game where now people are going to challenge themselves to just run and not jump.
That's the new speedrun. That's the speedrun category.
The stop and jump.
Yeah. Mike's starting a new category, games done slow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But those scarab things in general, like they're like bulls, and you have to go through this area with these puzzles, and you have to they get together, they fight each other, but sometimes you have to have them fight. You got to run fast enough. If they get done fighting, they're gonna come kill you, which happened a lot. Mm-hmm. And oh my god, those and it's so long. And then there's a final part with the scrabs where I'm assuming it's all one checkpoint if you're not playing the way I played it, and you have to run, jump. New scrabs come after you. You have to roll. You have to run and roll through a hole, which I never knew how to do. And I finally learned how. Oh my God, I was getting so pissed off because everything is like, you have to be spot on. You have no time to think. You have no time to plan your jumps. You just have to do it. And you're being chased the entire time.
The second this game gives you like any sort of ability, it's like, all right, I hope you're an expert at it.
Okay, use it.
Here's a grenade. Hope you know how to use them.
And then the other temple with the paramites. These paramites, they didn't seem as bad. Like they look like, what's a good example for a paramite other than ugliness? Like it looks like it's scared of you at first. Like you start to go towards it, and it jumps away. And what it's doing is it's tricking you. It's making you think, oh, I'm in charge. And as you walk towards it and chase it, it turns around and eats you instead. Because it's Oddworld.
It's like the Oddworld dog, maybe.
Oh,
they look like
dog. She doesn't eat me.
They look like the stalker form of the Flood from Halo 3. Anybody?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, the spider flood things that
okay, I
transform.
Yeah,
I haven't played Halo in years.
Well, I'll be doing nothing but doing that in 2 days. So, just so everyone to date this podcast, we're doing this on December 1st. In 2 days, Master Chief Collection comes out on PC. So,
oh, that's right.
Good luck hearing from me for a while.
I think it's already out, actually.
No, it's not. Is it?
I saw it on Steam earlier.
I think it's on Steam as a
pre-order. Yeah.
It was on sale too.
All of a sudden, Stu's gone. Like, where'd Stu go?
Yeah, bye.
Already-
I'm definitely not starting Steam right now to check. That would be ridiculous in the middle.
No,
of
of course not.
Just talk amongst yourself for a bit. just gotta.
All right. So as you're dealing with the paramites, that's where we also kind of mentioned meat. You can use the meat to distract the paramites, but you don't have that much time that they'll eat the meat before they're like, hey, let's get some Mudoken. That sounds good. Oh my, this game just pissed me off. And there'd be parts where I would save mid-puzzle and realize I fucked up the whole puzzle earlier in this section and have to start over anyway because I just did it wrong. Oh, this game. I
like how everything outside the factory, like, you are the bottom of the food chain. Everything is going to kill you.
Yeah.
I was expecting you to get out and it's like in a standard game, you get out and there's other Mudokons and like they teach you how to survive and they're just like normal people. But in this game, you get out and it's like everything in the world is trying to kill you, and the factory was like almost safer by comparison.
I would say the factory was safer.
Well, until they decided to start like cutting you up to be slaves, but before it was like you were a workforce, and then you get out and you're like, oh no, it's even worse out here. Everything is trying to kill me.
Yeah. By the way, Stu was right. It is the third. My bad.
Yeah. It's not like I've been checking every day or anything.
I dream about it.
Yeah. I was listening to the soundtrack.
We already are doing the first Halo on the show eventually, so it's already in the schedule.
Well, I'll be playing it in 2 days, so I'll be ready.
Our next game is short, so you shouldn't have a problem.
I was listening to the soundtrack to get ready for Halo, and I had to stop because I've mentioned this to Phil before. If I listen to the Halo soundtrack while driving, that's a dangerous combination.
You're like in a warthog.
Yeah, I'll be just like, because I've got like my truck. I've got a pretty big truck, and like I'll be listening to the music, and I'll be imagining myself in a warthog, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going 100 miles an hour.
We're under attack.
We're under attack.
Hey,
I'm too aggressive.
It's okay, right?
It makes me aggressive. It makes me aggressive when I'm driving. It's like it starts playing and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck some shit up. Oh wait, I'm on a road with other people. I gotta go back to listen to like Death Cab for Cutie or something. Calm myself down.
And then also when you finish these 2 temples, you get like tattoos on your hand, which give you a power that you only use 3 times, 4 times in the game.
Yep.
A really stupid power where he morphs into part scarab, part paramite, part Mudoken. Looks like a weird ass thing for like 2 seconds and just shoots a bunch of blasts all over the level, destroys all the mines, destroys all the enemies on that screen, and then your power goes away and you don't get it again until the game tells you it's okay.
Isn't it kind of like a metaphor that he's like taking revenge on the company for all the dirty deeds they did to them, like all the different species or whatever?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I took away from it.
I didn't like it. It looked cool.
We haven't mentioned
yes,
like the fact that Abe has his mouth is sewn shut.
We hadn't mentioned that. We were too busy talking about the mohawk earlier.
Oh yeah,
We're too busy trying to figure out if he's a fish or not.
By the way, I'm seeing concept art of Abe now because I was looking up to see what his tattoos look like, his hand tattoos, which I think look cool as shit. Which I definitely am not going to get, but I definitely want to get.
Mm-hmm. I actually have a fact here by Lauren Lanning about why his mouth is stitched. Abe's stitched mouth was done because when he was born, he was more of a crybaby, and it was something that was done to him to help the situation. And it was done before he developed consciousness, causing him to perceive the stitches as part of him.
Ah, well then why do all the pictures in the background have stitches on the fish mouths?
Because bitches get stitches.
Okay.
I don't know.
Stitches get stitches.
That'd be a great
Put it
sign
that
in the
way.
background of this game. Bitches get stitches. I like how when you start running away, immediately a mugshot of you comes up with your name like crudely drawn on. That's how you find out that you're playing.
Yeah, like immediately.
Yeah, and it's like
picture.
it's your employee picture. Like that's the picture the company has of you in case you try to escape. They just naturally have it.
So everyone who when you went to go get your job or here, whatever job you're working at, when they took that orientation, don't trust them. They're gonna kill you one day.
Get your mugshot.
I people who know me know I talk about this a fair amount, but I love graffiti in video games. I love like stuff drawn on walls. Like one of my favorite games is Left 4 Dead because of that. Like almost specifically, I like the graffiti and everything in the safe rooms. I love that. This game called miscreated that has some of the coolest graffiti in it, even though the game itself is shit and I wouldn't play it. It's like a Daisy knockoff that is not very good. But the graffiti is great. And the graffiti in Abe's Odyssey was really cool. Like seeing the fish mouth, like the fish Abe face, like posted up and like shit written all over it, like save us. And the kind of implication that the other Madokans have started, like, I don't want to say like idolizing him, but he's got this like following popping up about him throughout the game.
Right.
Well, in my game, they didn't idolize me. I let them all die.
That's on you.
Yeah, that's your fault. But then, like, yeah, you see like the posters of I love the stylized faces with like the eyes crossed out, and it's like just so much like blatant propaganda. I thought that all looked really cool. I might actually get a shirt or something off that. If you escape, everyone dies.
New quote for the shirt.
That's just a podcast. If you escape, everyone dies. If you leave, then they kill the rest of us.
Yep.
All right, and then you go as you progress through the factory the second time, as you're actually, like, I was actually saving Madokans finally, and I did like when you finally get near the end. Should we start going on to the end of this game? We covered almost everything.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. I did like it. Like when you get near the end of the game, you finally get into the boardroom that you saw in the first part of the game when he's looking through the window and realizes, oh shit, they're going to start killing us. And you end up using that power that is that all the races kind of getting revenge for getting killed. And he just kills all the board members and the guard, or almost all the board members. And it just, this lightning bolt just shoots through and just starts blowing up everybody. And it is super cool. It was one of the coolest scenes in this game. And then you get knocked out.
Yeah.
Or something. They grab you, or I can't even remember exactly.
They like hit you in the face and then it knocks you out and then they drag you.
And then they drag you and tie you up above a grinder.
Well, that's
and the whole game is Abe narrating what happened as he's hanging above this grinder.
It's like a hole in the ground. It's like an industrial Starlight pit.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's just a hole in the ground with like a bunch of grinding teeth in it, and you're hung up by your hands, and the Gluckin, which, God, what was his fucking name? The main one.
Moloch.
Moloch.
I remember that because of Rorschach from Watchmen. Moloch.
What?
I'm not locked in here with you.
You're locked in with me.
Yeah.
I read Watchmen too.
I've only seen the Zack Snyder movie, so I hate it.
You should read it. Well, maybe we might read it on a certain podcast at some point in the future.
Hopefully. I need to watch the show as well. I haven't checked out the show at all either.
It's really good, but disturbingly good.
All right, so you were saying about Madokan, or whatever the hell his name is.
Moloch the Gluckin.
Okay.
Like I said, this game is very Dr. Seuss-esque. It's like with sligs and slogs and the whole rhyming structure of it. It feels like, oh god, what's that? The Lorax. It's like if the Lorax was like R-rated.
Yeah, sure.
This summer, the Lorax. Got like two guns or something. Yeah, he's got you tied up and he's giving you a whole speech. Well, they don't really speak English. So they're just like,
Abe does, but no one else
does. Molochs speak like
they like mumble.
Yeah, they got that like Zooey thing going on. Yeah, baby.
The Sligs talk English though.
Yeah. The annoying thing is that like all the narration in this game is set up in rhyming structure, and then sometimes Moloch will say something and that's meant to complete the rhyme, but it doesn't rhyme. It's just like, and that's when they want us to sing. It's like, that's not a fucking rhyme. You can't just mumble through that. Quoth the Raven. It's like, it threw me off so much to have a rhyme, not rhyme, to have like an hour of very structured narration and then just to drop it at some lines. It threw me off so much.
Yeah, it's a bit
So
jarring.
if anyone's curious how to piss off Stu, start a rhyme and don't finish it.
Yeah, no, it's okay if you start a rhyme and don't finish it, because I'll just finish it in my head. But if you if you always have if you have a rhyme going on, like if the end of the only time it works out is the end of Lump. For the song, it's not Dead Presidents, is it?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a song called Lump by the presidents of the USA. She's lump, she's lump, she's lump. And the song initially had a rhyming end, and then Weird Al Yankovic did a parody of it called Gump, and he ended it with Like he's Gump, and that's all I have to say about that. And that's how he ended the song. It's like, okay, that's deserved. But if you have like the end of like that long Christmas rhyme about like Santa coming, and you just end it with a random sentence, that would piss me off. I don't know if it's like an OCD thing or like what. It's weird.
It is weird. I agree. I just listened to it, and I don't. All right, this game has 3 endings. I want to say.
End my rant about ending rhymes the right way.
I am, and I got the bad ending because I'm a bastard, and I didn't rescue. You have to. There's 3. You get if you rescue under 50, you get the bad ending. If you rescue between 50 and 99, you get the good ending, and if you rescue 100, you get the best ending.
Well, you can't rescue.
And or 99. What is? I thought it was 100.
No, it's I remember this wrong. If it's less than 50, it's the bad ending. If it's more than 50, it's the good ending. And if you get the good ending, don't you also get like the promotional and like alternate trailer or something as one of the endings in the main menu?
I think if you get all of them, then you get an extra bonus ending, which might be that promotional one.
Yeah, that's really fucking weird. Did anybody else watch that?
I did.
No,
it's bizarre.
What's the good ending? That's it.
Yeah. Well, let's say what the bad ending is first.
Okay, I'll say the bad ending since I got it. So
okay.
I knew it was a bad ending, but I still figured things might be a little okay. So he's hanging up by his hand, and then it has a bunch of Madokans standing behind a fire saying, "We should help him." They're like, "Screw that schmuck, he didn't help us." And I'm like, "Oh shit." And then they don't come help you, and they drop you in the grinder. And I'm like, "Oh," they're like, "He didn't help us. Why should we help him? Let him suffer."
It's literally nothing you did mattered.
Yeah, basically.
Which I guess means the whole point of the game is to rescue the Madokans and be the good guy. It's just
I'm okay with that because I will never play this game again. So
I'm fine with that as well. But I got the good ending, so I'm also fine with it.
That's because you're a completionist.
Yeah, it's a real problem. Yeah,
It's like
it takes me a long time to finish like Dragon Age Inquisition. Just there's so many collectibles.
Oh, you poor thing.
I have to get all of them. I'll be walking around like I have 20 out of 21 songs. Where's the last fucking song?
There is.
You just have to wait. You just have to wait for someone to sing it. Yeah, I got the good ending, which
why don't you tell what the good ending is?
The good ending is all the Madokans are like they're all in this pit, which I would describe as the party pit from the second Matrix movie, where they're all in Zion and they're having that like the crazy like orgy drum pit.
I hate that part of that movie, by the way. So
I
stupid.
love that part of that movie where Morpheus is just giving his speech. I love that. That's like my favorite part of that movie.
Well, now we got something to talk about. Something.
Morpheus is just doing his warrior speech, where he's like, "Can you dig it?" And then they all just start drumming and having sex. It's crazy.
I guess if you're gonna go die, man, might as well have one last hurrah.
Might as well have one last orgy.
So, all right. So you were saying about the ending?
So all the Madokans are there. They're getting ready for their massive mud and drum orgy. Morpheus is speaking, and then Abe comes out, and Big Face shows up. Oh, sorry, it still like opens up with you hanging over the pit. By the way, it's going back and forth. So it shows you hanging over the pit, and then Big Face shows up, does a chant, and like shocks Mullock, not really to death, but enough for his clothes to fly off, and you see that he's got this really weird body. He looks like a Disney villain at first, where he's got this long cloak on, and when he shocks him, it's revealed he's got these like weird ass arms and these tiny little legs, and supposed to be like like he's really inadequate downstairs.
Yeah.
And he warps you to this stage in front of all the orgy Madokans, and they all like chant and yell and say like "Yay, Abe, yay!"
Yay!
And then the game has to cut to black before the orgy starts.
They saved that for Matrix.
They saved that. Yeah, that's it.
Just cut to black.
That's it. That's gonna be in Soulstorm. The entirety of Soulstorm is just one long Mutoken orgy.
I'd play it
with the exact soundbite of Matrix 2 playing over top of it. Steal it.
That's a 10 out of 10.
That'd be great. I'd buy it.
All right. Stefan, did you see the promotional thing that we were just talking about that I have no idea what it is?
I actually started watching it and then I just clicked past it. I did really.
There you go, guys. There's your details.
It's
1 week.
Do you know what we're talking about, Hunter?
Don't know why I'm still talking about it. Sorry, it didn't work out as well.
It's so
nothing.
Weird.
Just ignore my song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shut up, Mike. I'm so mean to you this episode. I don't know why. It's okay. Well, they don't call it like the promotional trailer. They call it something else within the game. But it's like it's Abe,
I'm
and
about to start singing again here.
I was just thinking, what if you rescued all the Mudokons and at the end you're waiting for that special ending and it's just Rick Astley? Never gonna give you up. Never gonna.
10 out of 10.
or they're all in that pit chanting for you, and it's like the device at like chicken farms where it just comes in and cuts all of their heads off, and it's like Mullocks are like, yeah, thanks, you got them all together for one place.
And they just catch them all.
Just comes out wringing his hands like,
They just have Pokeballs in their feet. And they're just throwing Pokeballs at them.
It's like the first Metro game where the bad ending is the good ending.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how to even fucking describe this goddamn trailer that you unlock. It's so weird. You're like, it's Abe like on the floor and a TV flies up to him. It's the best way I can think to describe this thing. It's like if anyone's played Fallout New Vegas, it's like the TV robots from The Big Empty, Old World Blues. That's what it's called. Kind of looks like that. And it just starts in a very calm and creepy voice explaining how Abe is going to be like the chosen one for his people. And all these devices come out, and Abe is like freaking out and panicking at this point. And like all these like weird surgical tools are coming out, and he's getting closer and closer to Abe and just like overshadowing him. And it cuts to black. It's like, okay, that was weird. It's certainly weird.
Yeah.
That doesn't. I'm glad I didn't watch this then. That sounds stupid as hell.
It's really strange. It's like, you're gonna be the one, Abe. You're gonna be the one to save everybody. And Abe's just like, no. Yeah. Hello.
Abe's an idiot. Hello.
I don't think Abe's an idiot. I think Abe is like, I wouldn't say he's an idiot. I'd say he's like a buffoon.
He reminded me a lot of like Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
You guys just keep saying different words for idiot. I don't know.
No. He's like a hapless, lovable, like buffoon.
He's a specific kind of idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an idiot means like he's like totally stupid and doesn't know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He's just like clumsy and weird.
He's just not good at it.
Okay. We actually got a lot of feedback from people about this game.
He's like if Bill Murray was a cartoon character.
And completely hammered.
Yeah.
Like I
so like if Bill Murray was a cartoon
So the groundskeeper from Caddyshack.
Yeah, exactly. He's the
Exactly.
groundskeeper from Caddyshack if the groundskeeper from Caddyshack was the chosen one.
See, we got there.
Somehow. All right. Two things I want to say before. Well, one thing I want to say before we move on to questions. Or not really. At this point, not even questions anymore, but I'll get to that. We didn't mention it. We should mention it earlier. On the front of the box, it says no menus, no inventory bars, no scorekeeping, just infinite lives, victims to rescue, and inexplicably challenging gameplay, which kind of gives an idea what you get yourself into. But
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that earlier in this game. I do want to say that I did approach this in 4 different groups, and I actually got a ton of feedback. We're not going to read all of it, but I want to read definitely some that people had. First, I want to read from Daniel Melman. Said, "I love this game. Make sure to play it twice." No way in hell, sir.
I'm good.
Never again.
I played it once. I'm good.
All right. I think I can agree with this one from Dugald Manserpent. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong and you're listening to this. It's a game I wanted to like dearly, but ultimately was just frustrated by. It had cool mechanics, very good art direction, and a somewhat simple but effective plot. The atmosphere is the best part of the game. It's a shame that it gets too difficult, too quick, and it feels sluggish in a way I don't like. You know, I can agree with that.
I can agree with that.
I mean, it definitely really just, it gets very challenging. And there's one thing that we completely skipped over, which now that brought this up, that I felt kind of broke up some of the challenging gameplay, or at least it helped with the jumps when you get that Elam, I think is his name, the little Yoshi thing you can ride.
Mule backward.
Oh, wow. I liked him. Like, I mean, you only use him to make a few different jumps, and you have to like do puzzles because he starts eating honey and won't leave, which is stupid.
Loves honey, but he hates bees.
He's like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. I think like more like Yogi Bear, right? Does Winnie the Pooh hate bees?
Yes.
Yes.
Does he have the capacity to hate?
Probably not. He's a stuffed animal.
Elam looks like Sid from Ice Age.
You're not wrong.
I'll take that as a small victory.
Another one I want to read from Daniel Locke said, "I have fond memories of making Abe say, 'Follow me,' and farting sounds over and over. You must have been a child at the time, sir. It is not funny anymore."
Yeah, if I had played this game when I was like 8, I would have fucking loved it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It might have been more fun.
Well,
All right.
It came out in what, 99?
97.
97.
So I was 10. Yeah, I probably found it funny.
I was 4, so I don't think I had a concept of
Yeah, I was 3.
parts yet, really.
I was probably 10 too. So,
I was still,
all right.
still developing my memory at that point.
You were 10.
I know we're the same age. From Mark Goldstein, you said, I've loved this game as a kid. The tone, atmosphere, and humor I greatly enjoyed, and the grimy, dystopic machinery setting is one of my favorites. Just the look and feel of it is so cool and interesting. It still is, though the whole anti-consumerism message flew over my young mind. I mean, that's part of the fun of this game.
Yeah.
And he said, though the sequel, Abe's Exodus, is way better. I never want to find out, sir. Never.
I'll agree to that. It is better, though.
I would love to like get a group who played Abe's Odyssey as a kid and make them play as adults and just
They'll be like, this is what I played?
yeah. Oh, I did not get that.
In the show, we kind of skipped over, but all 4 of us, this was our first experience with this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I played it as a kid.
Oh, never mind. What the hell am I saying? We even talked about this before.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yes, for 3 of us. Stefan's
Yeah.
And this comment from Drew Van Rating said, "Wait, follow me." Okay.
Okay. Follow me. Okay.
Follow me.
They'll follow you so they're deaf too. Just fine.
Hello.
Another one from Rob Earlshire. Abe's Exodus is even better. A great puzzle platform with a weird tripping story. All those PS1 games with pre-rendered backgrounds hold up so well for me. I'm sure nostalgic plays a big part in that. Yes, it does. If you like these games, please play Heart of Darkness. I don't think that's happening now. So that's a game to stay away from for us.
What the hell is Heart of Darkness?
I think it's a Super Nintendo game.
No, it's actually PS1 I looked it up.
That's the one I'm thinking of? Okay.
You're thinking Outer World or another
world. Yeah.
Okay. I know what you're talking. Yeah, because I looked up a whole list of all the cinematic platformers, and yeah. Why we're doing this?
Oh.
Yeah, apparently Heart of Darkness is way more like bullshit, but
looks like it.
Having looked at it, I am vaguely interested in it.
I mean, maybe. I don't.
It was made by one of the same guys who made Another World. I know that.
That doesn't entice me. All right, this is from Jaos Pontes. I know I pronounced that wrong. He said Exodus was a bit better balanced, if I recall correctly. At least I didn't remember that one having as many timing-based puzzles. Fucking timing-based puzzles are all over this damn game.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we might be playing Heart of Darkness. I just looked it up, and the composer for Heart of Darkness was the same guy who composed the music for Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey.
Oh, well, what are we doing here?
I fucking love that movie. Oh, and Tombstone? Holy shit. Yeah, we're fucking playing that game.
All I see is a gif of a shit monster eating the main character.
The same.
It also has really brutal. Heart of Darkness has really brutal death animations for a game that you play as a kid.
Ooh. So, you're talking like 2013 Tomb Raider brutal, or
I don't know. I didn't know the brutal. That's what he said.
This guy did the fucking. This is such a weird career. Sorry, he did the score for Rescuers Down Under, Homeward Bound, Baby's Day Out, and Tombstone.
Wow, okay. I got this. I want to read from Joshi Gavilan. They said, "Just go on about how it's the greatest game ever made." That was his comment. That was my fart noise. That didn't come out very good. I don't think because I spit into my microphone.
You laughed like a slig mic.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm gonna be fucking saying that for goddamn months now.
Yeah, we are. It's good to come back. Oh, so I'm gonna read 2 more comments and we'll be done with questions.
Okay.
I shouldn't even say questions anymore on this show. They never are questions. From Lewis Thomas. Yeah. This
Listener comments
are the best side-scrolling games ever made, in my opinion.
I can see how people think that.
That's your opinion.
I disagree, but I can see how people think that.
Disagree heavily.
There's a lot of people that said, love this game and things of that nature. And a lot of people really like this game.
Yeah, for 97, it's really impressive. This game is... I worry that we didn't do it justice talking about it, because it is really impressive as a game.
We kind of cut it. Well, wait till Shelfer Box. 2 more. Well, actually, I lied. 2 more things. Because there's one from Joe Hobble said, no menus? And I didn't get that right away. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's on the cover, because everything's being eaten. Everything's getting cooked and eaten. Mm-hmm. But from Ashley Measures, this is the last thing I'm going to read, said, I remember renting it from a video shop store near me and accidentally keeping it and I still have. It's one of my, if not my favorite game in the PS1, and the remaster follows it up quickly. I take it Stefan doesn't agree.
That's quite the overdue fee you got.
Yeah, the remaster sucks.
Well, if it's Blockbuster, you're okay.
Yeah.
I promise I don't care anymore.
I definitely didn't do that. There's no way I rented a bunch of stuff from Blockbuster when they were going out of business. That would be a bad thing to do.
Really, because, the only people that got that money were with that click. So.
And I'm definitely not going to do the same thing when GameStop goes out of business.
Oh, never.
Well, that wouldn't be renting them. That'd be just buying.
Yeah, they don't have
things.
rentals. They do Redbox if Redbox goes out of business eventually.
I don't.
Which, let's face it will eventually.
Yeah, well,
Everything will eventually.
Every movie from Redbox is still like $5 though. It's almost too much. It's weird that $5 seems like too much for a single movie now, right?
it's $1 here.
Definitely. $1 here too. What kind of Redbox you going to? Some guy in the corner where you trade him $5?
Premium.
I haven't gone to one in a long time. Last time I went to one, it was $5.
Wow.
That was a long time. That was a couple of years ago, though. But just like, I mean, like movies on YouTube are still like $5.
Yeah,
you go buy a movie on YouTube.
They vary.
Yeah, they do vary. Sometimes it's like if the movie just came out, $17, which I get. It's like to own for as long as YouTube decides to let you own it. But
Yeah.
some movies are just like, I don't know. Like sometimes I'll want to watch like a really shit old movie, and they'll be like, "Oh, this movie is $13." I'm like, "Why? This movie came out 40 years ago, and it has like 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. Why is it still $13 on YouTube?"
Somebody wants your.
Look, I just want to watch Homeward Bound. Okay,
Did you just look it up just now?
it's a beautiful movie.
All right, I think
Homeward Bound
we
is
should
not
go to
$13.
shelf box. All right, Hunter, why don't you go first? Hello.
Homeward Bound is $4. Oh no! Holy shit! Homeward Bound is $20 to fucking buy HD. God damn it!
It's that
That was
good.
It's the same composer as Tombstone. So
Yeah,
All right, so Hunter, how about you? Shelf or box for this gem while someone else is
legitimately shocked. I
Shelf.
apologize.
shelf?
I mean, I'm a collector.
So anything is shelf.
Yeah, basically.
He's like, I'll take this piece of shit off the shelf.
It's high praise.
Okay, I'll respect your opinion.
Yeah,
It's not real
How about you?
Yeah,
Steph?
it's like an honorary.
honorary.
Okay, I mean, it does deserve it because it is a famous type game. It has a legacy idea. So,
No, it's
okay.
definitely famous.
Yeah. How about you, Mr. Stefan?
I don't know. I mean, going back to it, I actually still kind of had fun. This isn't my favorite game in the series, so it's hard for me to say because Exodus is like 10 times better than this one. They improved it in every single way. But I don't know, for an IP, like when like Lauren Lanning's idea for this was he was looking at the games coming out, looking at the gamescape, and he wanted to create something unique. He didn't want to create, guy with guns, blazing, falling 5 stories, killing everything. So I kind of respect that.
Yeah.
And I also respect the time and interesting concepts they put into the game of like using speech and traps and having to save your fellow Mudokons. I mean, stuff like that. And you can kill them too, which is great. I really respect the shit out of that because nobody else was doing that at that time. In fact, I don't think anybody did the same thing except for Heart of Darkness or whatever the hell it's called.
Not for a
So-
while.
Yeah, so it's just, if you're willing to go out on a limb and create something and it actually comes out to be something that people like, I mean, I like it. I like this game. I like the sequels better, but I respect what they did with this IP and I'd put it on the shelf just for that.
Boom. Mic drop.
Okay. That's not what I was expecting this to go. How about you, Stu?
I don't know.
I'm very forgiving.
Do we lose Stu?
He was ready to
It's
say
the
that.
same
surprised.
I don't know. This like the last 3 games we've played have all been really difficult.
They have been really difficult, I want to say.
They all have been really difficult. And
What did we even
like
play?
this is
I can't even remember.
I think I don't know if I'm gonna shelf this or not. I don't know. I liked it a lot. I had a lot of fun playing this game. And like Stefan said, it's so different than any other game we played, really. There's like the only time you get a gun is when you take control of like the sligs, and even then you shoot a couple enemies and you blow up. And
Right.
Yeah.
for a game to be so like to try to go so far away from the like stereotypical violent protagonist, but still have a totally brutal, violent game with just a crushing atmosphere. I really love that. I really love so much of this game. It's just like some of the humor fell flat for me and was like a little too mature. I think had I played this as a kid, I think this would be one of my favorite games because I felt really. This game is really satisfying to beat.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
100%.
I would put this. I'd put this on par with like Fallout, like the first 2 Fallout games. Like beating those is a fucking challenge, but when you beat them, you feel like you've actually beaten something. And like when you get to the if you get the good ending of this game, you're like, yeah, I fucking did that. I beat this goddamn game. I feel like a champ.
I didn't get it.
I don't know.
I was trying.
I think I'm gonna put this on my shelf. I really did have a lot of fun playing it, and I like Stefan said, I respect this game a lot. It's different. They're doing something like original and unique, and for them to make essentially 3 games that people loved enough for them to just make remakes of those same 3 games for the next 25 years and still exist as a company. That's impressive. That's nothing to scoff at. Like they clearly give a shit about this world. They clearly give a shit about this series.
Yeah, it's a dedicated fan base.
That's like Resident Evil Capcom levels of dedication.
Yeah. For them to go back 20 years later and be like, hey, we're going to remake that game that everyone remembers from 97. We're going to make it better now.
Oh, I got something funny to say.
The first remake wasn't quite as perfect as we wanted it to be, so we're going to keep trying to make it as well.
You used to be able to buy this game on OnLive. Anyone know what the hell I'm talking about?
Oh, rest in peace.
It was that computer streaming thing that came out apparently from 2009 to 2015 and died.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I did. I was looking at like what system this was on. It was like OnLive. I'm like, what is it? Why does this sound familiar? And I'm like,
it was like if Google Stadia and Ouya had a baby.
Yeah.
Google Stadia ain't gonna be around long either. So let's not.
No, exactly.
You have to respect people who, like, to this day are still like, we're gonna do an online only game system like Netflix where you can stream games, and it's failed every single time, and yet people are still
did y'all not see the
trying
launch
it.
of Xbox One?
We're not there yet.
Are we ever gonna be there?
I think so, but
Not in the States.
Not here. Like the fucking internet sucks here.
Yeah.
Eventually, but
I
there's
think
a lot of things that have to happen.
Basically, our entire infrastructure has to be completely redone for that to be viable.
Everybody grab a shovel.
And I don't know, maybe fire a jit pie out of a cannon into the sun.
You would need to stop regulation of certain things when it comes to data caps, because you have a data cap, Stadia is not going to work. But let's not talk about that right now. Since you put this on the shelf, I was not expecting everyone to put this game on the shelf. Everyone but me.
I wasn't expecting to put this game on my shelf.
I thought for sure we all burn it.
I couldn't decide until just now. That was me deciding.
Yeah, I wasn't going to be sure till I played it again because it's rough to go back to.
Yeah, it's
now I'm going to feel like an asshole, guys.
I'm glad you're a trendsetter.
But
I'm not putting this on the shelf.
Really, it has. You know what it is? It's the charm. It has that weird charm, that like Parasite you'd have, that like weirdness to it that I just love.
Yeah, you do love weird. That's for sure.
Yeah,
this game's going in the box because I never want to play this game again. Now, it's a good game. I will agree it's a good game, but it's not for me. It is a game that made me upset. I played it, I beat it, and I never want to look at it again. Am I proud that I did it? Yes, I'm proud. Yes.
I was going to say, Mike, I expected you to honestly put it on the shelf because, I mean, it just seems like with save states, it'd probably be easier. I don't know.
It's easier, yes, but it's easier in the aspect of if I can save in between a puzzle, but it still is a bitch to do some with puzzles. It is still real challenge. There are parts I didn't realize you could pause this game until very near the end because I think I had my controller screwed up and my pause was right on the bottom joystick for some reason, not start. So I didn't think this game had a pause feature, so I didn't use saves where I would have used saves. So if I couldn't stop moving, I wouldn't save. Even when I did save, I screwed myself a couple times. But no, this game is still very challenging. And if you do want to play it, if this sounds interesting to you, it's around. I mean, hey, it's on a PlayStation Classic if you bought one of those, like I did.
Or play New and Tasty, I think it was on PS4, right?
Yes, that's probably the one to play, right?
Yeah.
Stefan?
Yeah.
No, don't play that one.
Why?
New and Tasty is like it's like The impression I got was like playing new and tasty would be like saying, I want to play the original Resident Evil, so I'm going to play the Resident Evil 2 remake.
I would equate it to if somebody said, "Look, we're gonna remake your favorite game," and it's nothing like the original game at all.
I'm gonna be
And
disappointed.
It lacks all representation. It's just the same characters. That's what I was.
Okay, well, this game is on PlayStation, Xbox,
So
PS. Well,
It's
no,
like a
that's the
movie
other-
remake
it's
more
on
than
a
a
lot
game
of
remake.
things.
Right.
If you want to play it,
Yeah.
you can.
It's like it's like Mortal Kombat 2, the game versus Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
It's the Amazing Spider-Man 2 of games.
All right, it's not that. I think we should mention what we're going to be talking about next week. And
Oh,
this
What are we
is
talking about? I actually don't know because I think we changed it, didn't we?
no, we changed this. Yes, because this was supposed to be next week, and next week's game is supposed to be this week, but we had to switch them due to our guest.
Okay, so then I do know what next week is.
Yes, we are playing next week a game that I cannot fucking wait. I already beat, by the way, but I cannot wait to talk about it next week. We are playing Star Wars Shadows of the Empire for
Yes.
N64 or PC, whatever the fuck we're playing, whatever version you want to play.
Turns out I didn't know what game we were playing next week.
You did?
I thought we were playing a different game because
What do
I
you
was
think
looking at
we
the
were
old
playing?
list. I thought we were playing Fear Effect.
No, Fear Effect is the following week.
Oh, okay. No, the following week is
No, Fear Effect and then Link to the Past. Oops, I didn't say that yet. Well, you'll know by this time anyway.
Cut it out.
What?
Cut it.
What are we playing
Okay.
next week?
Next week is Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. And for
Okay.
those that are still listening, then we are playing Fear Effect. Then we are playing Legend of Zelda Link to the Past for Super Nintendo.
Never
It's
heard.
going to be announced anyway by the time you're listening to this, so it doesn't matter.
Sometimes we have to change up the schedule a little bit, and I always throughout the day I try not to check my phone if I'm like at work or talking to people or at school, and so I'll just check my phone and it'll be like 96 messages from Mike and Stefan, and I'm like, oh god, okay, go back and try to figure out what's going on.
There's the list. All right, and I
was looking at an old list apparently. I'm fucking glad I brought this up because I legitimately was about to start playing Fear Effect.
you should play Fear Effect. I mean, Shadows of the Empire you can beat in one sitting if you really want
yeah.
to.
It's Star Wars, so I'll probably play it twice.
It's
before
short.
Halo comes out.
Star Wars is good.
It's
You
just-
Talk about that
It'd be
next
so
week.
funny if next week we're like, we're playing Shadows of the Empire. And I'm like, gonna very quickly walk away.
All right. First, I want to thank everyone for joining us and listening to another episode of Games My Mom. I want to thank Hunter for taking the time out to join us on this crazy ass show.
Hey, glad to be here.
And first, I want to give a quick shout out to our awesome intro and outro from Bulby, aka Mike Stoney, from his EP. Like the
Bite
bullet.
Bullet.
Oh God. So yes, so please follow him on YouTube. You'll see a link in the show notes. There will also I just forgot to mention, Hunter, you have a podcast you should plug.
Yeah, I do.
Jesus Christ. It's such a mess.
Yeah, you check me out on YouTube, VGX7. I do a podcast, Everything You Want, Nothing You Need. It's usually the weekly game discussion that devolves into arguing about bad food choices, movies, TV, what have you. And then I also do a show, Ultimate Gaming, that is heavily inspired by GeForce Exploit. So
Okay.
And there will be a link in the show notes for his podcast and his the YouTube. Everything.
all the things, yep.
I forgot all. I was going to have you mention that earlier, but it's been such a mess trying to get this recording going tonight with everything I had going on. I completely all of a sudden went, oh shit.
Nah, no worries.
It's not every day I have fellow podcasters on.
My
Sure.
favorite part of this podcast by far is Stefan and I both going, bite the bullet.
See, I didn't have to do it for the first 15 episodes. DJ did it. Now I do it.
Next week, you should just like try to surprise Stefan or me with it or something and see if we can do it out of like just from memory at this point.
Okay, we'll try that next week. You won't remember this conversation, bro. I can tell you that.
No, I definitely
All
won't,
right.
but I'll definitely remember the plug because we do it every week.
So please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We are Games My Mom Found or at My Mom Found. Just search Games My Mom Found, Google, and add whatever you want to find us on. You'll find us. I promise.
Maybe
I
getting,
found us.
maybe getting a website soon. Maybe. Depends.
And shirts are coming, right? We're getting close to that logo.
Yeah, shirts are coming. We are changing our logo up to make it a little bit more professional instead of this cartoony mess that I made at the very beginning. Oh,
I like your cartoony.
I did. Everyone seems to like it. I fucking hate it. Maybe because I made it, but it's
Yeah, yeah, of course.
got
So we
something
do have a new
more
logo coming. At
professional.
some point,
way, some shirts, some stuff online, maybe Patreon,
Plugs.
and I am also hopefully over the break, I'll have time to also make a quick website for us.
Stuart's a professional, so he's taking his time.
Just quotes around that. I am a quote unquote professional.
All right. Well, this has been another episode, and we're gonna end this recording. Everyone, hello. Goodbye.
Oh, okay.
Bye.